I've lived in Freeport for about 40 years, and I do ergonomics, which is about getting you comfortable in whatever you're doing. And I teach Tai Chi Qigong, and so I teach movement. I want to get you comfortable, and I'm comfortable at the same time because I also teach about energy medicine. And a lot of times I'm playing with what's uncomfortable for me, emotionally or physically or whatever. So, tonight I want to talk about the very first thing is that have you ever noticed that the way you sit down in a chair, it's okay, I know. He went to my November one, Lawson? Yes. So he knows a little bit about this, but I always try to vary it up a little bit. So have you ever noticed that when you sit in a chair versus when you're sitting onto a toilet, you do it differently? Maybe you've never noticed, okay? But when you sit on a toilet, you actually try to reach, so you reach the hole, right? So you actually reach with your butt to sit on the chair, sit on the seat, I'm sorry. But when you sit down in a chair, what do? You lead with your knees, which tucks your butt under, and so when you sit down, you're sitting on your butt cheeks. You're not supposed to sit on your butt cheeks, because Dawson, what you're supposed to do you remember?
Sit on something else.
You have two sitting bones, and that's exactly what you should be sitting on. But the thing is, when you lead with your knees, your flesh is in the way. So when you sit down next time, you don't have to do it now, but just hinge. That means put your butt back behind you. You're bending right here. So don't round your spine and don't arch your spine, but just hinge right here and keep the spine nice and long. And as if you're reaching for that toilet behind you. And you'll be automatically sitting on your sitting bones. And then you can straighten up and you will feel your buttocks kind of wrinkle up because your butt is down behind you. Okay? So that is why it's important to have your butt behind you, because you should be sitting on your sitting bones. And you should be sitting sort of evenly on your sitting bones. And you cannot feel that unless you're sitting in a hard chair that we have this example of. Okay? Because soft chairs you're not going to be able to feel as much. And you'll notice you don't have to sit on it 100%, 50-50, because even when you're standing, you're shifting my weight, right? And your body's dynamic. It's designed to move. It's not designed to just be still. You know, sitting still in school, like when you train girls are much better at that than boys, for sure. But the smart people, the smart kids, are the ones that fidget. The skinny people are the ones that fidget as well. Okay? So those are good things. We think they're bad things, but they're actually good things. We do things naturally that are very, very good. Okay? So what I'm going to talk to you about today is, now that that's out of the way. Are you comfortable, by the way? Since September, I went to my son's wedding out in Vegas. Beautiful wedding. And since then, I've been working on not taking anything personally. Because our children over the last few years since COVID has told us that we weren't very good parents. And I take that very personally, as any parent would, right? But I noticed that anytime my children say anything about me that I've done that they didn't like or they didn't appreciate, I have to turn right around. My parents are both passed, but I have to turn right around and apologize to my parents because I've said the same thing or done the same thing to my own parents, right? Because I thought my parents were not so intelligent, but they did grow intelligent. The older I get, the more intelligent they got. I'm shocked. Even now, they are already dead, and they're still getting smarter and smarter each time. It's fun to me. But I'm trying not to take things personally, and do you know that the people that don't take things personally, they're the most easygoing, laid-back people. Like Michael and Robin. They're two of the best people I know. They're so easygoing. And he just said the other day, I try not to take anything personally. I said, wow, really, you can do that. I'm still working. I just started working on it.
I still work on it.
Yeah, well, but I think you're way ahead of me, right?
I don't know, but I just work at it.
So one of the things that, you can see I'm Chinese. I was born in Taiwan. I came to Canada at the age of 10. And speak pretty good English because I learned it before. There's a part in the brain that before puberty, if you learn a second language or multiple language, it's much easier, right? But I'm still translating in my brain. Even though I speak perfectly, I still look, I'm still Chinese inside. So what I realized is that when my kids complained about me, I started to really look from their point of view versus my point of view, how I saw things, As parents, we're always trying to do the best for our children, right? Because we want them to succeed, we want so many things, right? Our hopes and dreams, and we put it on their shoulders. But from their point of view, and one of them was race, okay? My husband is French, okay, and I'm Chinese. So I didn't know how to address that. So I just didn't bother to tell my son, whether he was Chinese or French, we just didn't address that, right? He was 4 years old when he came home, and he was playing on the playground at school, whatever, he came home, he says, "Mom, am I Chinese?" And I was shocked, because I never told him he was Chinese or French or whatever, and it never came up. In fact, I think I may have subconsciously avoided it altogether, right? So I was like, "Well, you're Chinese, your dad's French." Well, he was 4 years old, I was pregnant with my daughter. So just to be on the safe side, because I'm Chinese, my husband's French, we told our daughter right from the very beginning, "You're Vietnamese." You get that? French and Chinese, okay. Well, I didn't know I was just kind of joking around. We didn't know what to do about race. Race is just a big, charged topic, right? Well, my daughter was also around 4 years old. We were in this Chinese grocery store. No people owners, because that's, back in the 90s and early 2000s, you always went to the same Chinese grocery store, because that's where you get your Chinese groceries. So the owner of the store comes running up to me from the back of the store where my daughter was. She was talking to my daughter, and she says to me, "I didn't know you were Vietnamese." I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm not Vietnamese, I'm Chinese, you know me, right? Your daughter says she's Vietnamese." My daughter is still mad at me to this day for playing that joke on her. It wasn't intentional. So every time my children say something to me, all I can say is, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I was just trying to, I didn't know what to do," right? That was the best I could come up with. We still laugh about it behind her back, but, Sorry, I erased that. But, the race thing is, I still think of myself as an American, right? But the minute I got pregnant, I realized that, the Chinese tiger mom, I think we all are tiger moms, for children. It's that survival instinct. We gotta do well. We gotta make sure our children survives, right? And no matter what my children says to me nowadays, I just know that I'm a good parent because they survived. I didn't kill them. They were 18. They were thriving. They're off on their own. They never want to come back and see me again. It's okay, right? So I try, and that's one of the things, is that I'm trying not to take things personally. And I tell you, it's given me so much space. I didn't realize life could be easy. I just thought, if you don't take things personal, it's not about you. It's always, people are looking at you, even my children, looking at me through their filters, right? I'm looking through my parental filters. I want to do this for my children. I want them to do well. But it's not what they desire. Like, they come up. The minute they're 2 years old, they're their own little person. No. Right? Very clearly. I don't want to wear that. Right? I don't want to do this. They are already their own little person. And we don't honor that sometimes because we have things we want to achieve or this or whatever. But what if we could just see them for who they are? And maybe we could also just be ourselves, right? But, I'm still trying to, I'm 65, I'm still trying to figure out who I am, okay? Because I keep changing because my kids keep telling me things or people say things to me And I realized that, oh, okay, well, maybe I could improve a little bit there. Or maybe no, thank you, I'm not gonna change that. But what if we could, of course, we need a lot of, good rest, good food, right, to be the best version of ourselves. If we could be ourselves more consistently, as often as we can, and make these brave choices, like coming out here and standing in front of you and telling